What if the universe itself is not built of matter, but of music? Picture yourself standing beneath a vast star-swept sky, far from the noise of civilization. In that profound silence, ancient sages claimed they could hear something extraordinary, not the absence of sound, but the presence of a deeper harmony. A cosmic symphony, playing since the first moment of creation, weaving through every atom, every heartbeat, every turning of the celestial spheres. This is not poetry alone. This is the foundation of one of humanity's oldest and most enduring insights, that existence itself is vibration, resonance, music made manifest. From the sacred mathematics of Pythagoras to the quantum fields of modern physics, from the Hermetic axiom that nothing rests to the trembling strings of contemporary cosmology, we find resonant patterns echoing across millennia. Not identical truths, but harmonious discoveries that seem to point toward something profound about the nature of reality. The ancients called it the music of the spheres, the harmony that governs the dance of planets, the rhythm that pulses through the heart of every star. But they understood something more profound than celestial mechanics. They grasped that this cosmic music is not separate from us. We are not observers of the symphony. We are its instruments. Tonight, we journey into this ancient wisdom and discover how the mystical vision of a musical universe finds its echo in the most cutting-edge theories of modern science. We will trace the golden thread that connects Hermetic vibration to Pythagorean harmony, Platonic cosmic order to Indian sacred sound, and all of these to the revolutionary insights of contemporary physics. For in understanding the music of the spheres, we begin to understand ourselves, not as isolated fragments in a mechanical cosmos, but as conscious notes in an eternal song. Long before telescopes revealed the vast machinery of the heavens, the ancient world intuited something remarkable about the nature of reality. In the workshops of Pythagoras, along the sacred banks of the Nile, and in the meditation halls of ancient India, sages discovered that the universe speaks in the language of harmony. Pythagoras, that legendary figure who straddled mathematics and mysticism, made a discovery that would echo through the centuries. Plucking a stringed instrument, he noticed that pleasing harmonies emerged when the ratios between string lengths followed simple mathematical relationships: 1 to 2 for an octave, 2 to 3 for a perfect fifth, 3 to 4 for a perfect fourth. The most beautiful music, it seemed, was also the most mathematical, but Pythagoras sensed something far more profound than musical theory. If earthly music followed mathematical laws, might not the entire cosmos be similarly ordered? He envisioned that the planets, in their eternal dance around the earth, created their own celestial music, each sphere singing a note determined by its size, speed, and distance, all harmonizing in a cosmic symphony too perfect, too constant for mortal ears to consciously perceive. This was not mere speculation, but what they considered sacred science. The Pythagoreans understood that number was not abstract concept, but the very architecture of existence. When they spoke of cosmic harmony, they meant something they believed to be literal. The universe as a vast musical instrument, its every motion contributing to an eternal composition of unimaginable beauty and precision. Plato inherited this vision and deepened it. In his dialogue Timaeus, he described the world's soul as fashioned according to harmonic ratios, its very structure musical. The celestial spheres were not silent clockwork, but singing orbs, their revolutions creating what he called the music of the sirens, irresistible harmonies that drew souls toward cosmic truth. For Plato, to understand harmony was to understand the divine order that governs all existence. But here, the ancient journey takes a decisive turn. Across the vast expanse of the ancient world, in the sacred traditions of India, we find an even more radical vision. The Vedantic seers proclaimed Nada Brahma. The universe is sound. Not that the universe contains sound or makes sound, but that the fundamental substrate of reality itself is sonic vibration. In this teaching, the primordial sound Om is not merely a sacred syllable, but the cosmic hum from which all existence emerges. Every form, every phenomenon, every apparent separation between self and cosmos dissolves back into this underlying vibrational unity. The Upanishads speak of the unstruck sound, the Anhata Nada, a divine music that plays eternally within the heart of consciousness itself, accessible to those who learn to listen with more than physical ears. These ancient traditions shared a revolutionary insight. Reality might not be a collection of things, but a pattern of relationships. Not matter in motion, but music in manifestation. They envisioned that what we call substance could actually be resonance. What we call form could actually be rhythm. And what we call consciousness could actually be the universe's capacity to hear its own eternal song. In the mysterious texts that emerged from ancient Egypt and were attributed to Hermes Trismegistus, the thrice great Hermes, we encounter one of the most precise formulations of this ancient wisdom. The third Hermetic principle declares with startling clarity, nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. This is not philosophy, but a kind of physics, a physics of consciousness that attempts to penetrate far deeper than mechanical motion. The Hermetic sages taught that what appears as solid matter is actually energy in constant motion. What seems separate and static is actually interconnected and dynamic. At the most fundamental level, they claimed, reality consists not of things, but of vibrational patterns, frequencies of cosmic consciousness expressing themselves as the infinite diversity of phenomena. But the Hermetic teaching goes further. It reveals that these vibrations are not random fluctuations but ordered harmonies, following laws as precise as those governing musical composition. Every thought, every emotion, every level of existence vibrates at its own characteristic frequency. And just as musical notes can harmonize or create dissonance, so can the various levels of being either align in cosmic harmony or generate the discord we experience as suffering and separation. The Hermetic adept learns to work consciously with these vibrational frequencies, understanding that to change one's mental and emotional states is literally to tune oneself to different cosmic harmonies. This is why Hermetic practice emphasizes meditation, ritual, and the cultivation of inner stillness, not as escape from the world of vibration, but as attunement to its deeper harmonies. If everything vibrates, what melody does the soul carry? This question leads us to the heart of Hermetic initiation. For the human being, according to this ancient teaching, is a microcosm of the greater cosmos, a complete vibrational system capable of resonating with any frequency in the universal spectrum. We contain within ourselves all possible notes, all potential harmonies. Our task is to learn to play ourselves consciously, to become skilled musicians of our own cosmic instrument. The Hermetic masters understood that consciousness itself is vibrational. Thought is not produced by the brain, but is a frequency that the brain receives and transmits. Emotion is not merely biochemistry, but the soul's resonance with different cosmic harmonics. And will, the power to choose and create, is our capacity to consciously select which frequencies we will amplify and which we will allow to fade into silence. This teaching transforms our understanding of spiritual practice from effort to attunement, from striving to listening. The goal is not to impose our will upon reality, but to discover the deeper harmony of which we are already part, and to learn to play our unique note with perfect pitch and timing within the cosmic composition. What the ancients envisioned through contemplation and sacred mathematics, modern physics has discovered through experiment and equation. The revolutionary insights of 20th and 21st century science reveal a universe that would be remarkably familiar to a Pythagorean sage or Hermetic initiate, a cosmos built not of solid particles, but of vibrational patterns, force fields, and resonant frequencies. When Max Planck discovered that energy comes in discrete packets called quanta, he unknowingly echoed the ancient insight that reality is fundamentally rhythmic. Energy, it turns out, does not flow smoothly, but arrives in beats, like a cosmic drum, maintaining the fundamental tempo of existence. Einstein's revelation that matter and energy are interchangeable aspects of a single reality resonates with the Hermetic teaching that substance and force are simply different frequencies of the same underlying vibration. But perhaps nowhere do we find a more striking parallel to ancient wisdom than in the fields of wave mechanics and quantum field theory. Modern physics tells us that what we experience as solid particles are actually standing waves in underlying energy fields. The electron is not a tiny sphere orbiting the atomic nucleus, but a cloud of probability, a resonant pattern that exists only in relationship to the whole system of which it is part. Even more remarkably, these quantum fields extend throughout all space, creating what physicists call the quantum vacuum, a seething ocean of virtual particles and antiparticles constantly emerging from and returning to nothingness. This empty space, far from being void, thrums with zero-point energy fluctuations that may contain more power than all the visible stars combined. The ancients' vision of space as fullness rather than emptiness, as cosmic plenum rather than vacant container, finds unexpected resonance in the laboratories of modern physics. Here, the scientific journey takes a decisive turn toward the explicitly musical. String theory, perhaps the most ambitious attempt to unify all the forces of nature, proposes that the fundamental constituents of reality are not particles at all, but infinitesimally small, vibrating strings of energy. Different vibrational modes of these cosmic strings give rise to different particles, just as different ways of plucking a guitar string produce different musical notes. In this theoretical vision, every electron sings the electron song. Every photon vibrates with photonic harmony. The entire periodic table becomes a cosmic orchestra, each element contributing its unique voice to the symphony of matter. And the laws of physics themselves emerge as the rules of cosmic composition, the deep mathematical harmonies that govern how these fundamental frequencies can combine and interact. Contemporary cosmology extends this musical metaphor to the largest scales imaginable. The cosmic microwave background radiation that fills all space carries the echo of sound waves that propagated through the early universe, acoustic oscillations in the primordial plasma that would eventually seed the formation of galaxies and stars. Astronomers speak literally of baryon acoustic oscillations and the sound horizon of the early cosmos, revealing that the large-scale structure of the universe itself bears the signature of ancient cosmic music. As we expand our vision from the quantum to the cosmic scale, a breathtaking pattern emerges. Every level of reality, from subatomic to galactic, reveals the same fundamental principle: order emerging through harmonic relationships, complexity arising through the interaction of simple vibrational patterns. Consider the atom, that basic building block of matter. Far from being a miniature solar system of particles in orbit, modern quantum mechanics reveals it as a standing wave pattern, a three-dimensional musical chord where electrons exist only in permitted harmonic frequencies around the nucleus. The entire periodic table unfolds as a magnificent progression of increasingly complex atomic harmonies, each element defined by its unique vibrational signature. Molecular chemistry extends this musical metaphor elegantly. When atoms bond to form molecules, they must achieve resonant compatibility. Their electron clouds must harmonize in stable patterns. The most elegant molecules, from the double helix of DNA to the precise geometry of crystal lattices, emerge when atomic frequencies lock into perfect harmonic relationships. Life itself appears possible only through exquisite molecular music, the biochemical symphony that sustains every living cell. At the biological level, we discover that organisms appear to be supremely musical creatures. The heart beats in rhythm, the brain generates measurable frequency patterns, and even individual cells pulse with metabolic cycles. Recent research suggests that healthy biological systems maintain coherent frequency relationships between their various subsystems, a kind of biological harmony that seems to break down in disease and death. But here, the cosmic symphony reveals its most profound movement. When we turn our attention to the vast scales of astronomy, we find that galaxies themselves participate in the universal music. They rotate with periods measured in hundreds of millions of years, creating gravitational waves that ripple through space-time itself. Galaxy clusters execute grand orbital dances, their mutual gravitation weaving patterns of cosmic choreography that unfold over billions of years. The most dramatic notes in this cosmic composition are played by phenomena that push the very limits of physical law. When black holes spiral into each other and merge, they create gravitational waves, literal vibrations in the fabric of space-time itself, that scientists can now detect with exquisite precision. These cosmic collisions ring space-time like a bell, and in learning to hear these gravitational harmonies, we have gained the ability to listen directly to the universe's most powerful musical performances. Every cause is a note, every effect its echo. This ancient Hermetic insight finds striking parallels in the modern understanding of complex systems and emergent properties. Simple rules operating at one level of organization give rise to complex behaviors at higher levels, like individual instruments combining to create symphonic beauty that transcends the sum of its parts. Weather systems sing with fractal melodies that repeat across multiple scales. Ecosystems maintain themselves through intricate feedback loops that mirror the harmonic relationships governing musical composition. Even human consciousness appears to emerge from the complex resonance patterns of billions of neurons, each individual nerve cell contributing to the grand symphony of awareness. Understanding the cosmos as symphony transforms our approach to spiritual practice from active effort to receptive listening. If reality is indeed composed of vibrational frequencies and harmonic relationships, then the path of wisdom becomes a matter of learning to hear the deeper music that plays eternally beneath the surface of ordinary experience. The ancient meditation traditions, whether Hermetic contemplation, Pythagorean listening, or Vedantic absorption in the unstruck sound, share a common insight. Consciousness itself is musical. The chattering mind, with its constant stream of thoughts and reactions, is like a radio tuned to static, unable to receive the clear signal of cosmic harmony because it is overwhelmed by its own internal noise. Through sustained practice of inner stillness, the meditator gradually learns to quiet this mental static and tune into subtler frequencies. The breath becomes a rhythmic anchor, its rise and fall synchronizing consciousness with the deeper pulses that govern biological and cosmic cycles. The heartbeat reveals itself as a personal drumbeat, connecting us to the universal tempo. As practice deepens, more subtle harmonies become audible to the practitioner. Many meditation traditions speak of inner sounds, the mystical music that arises when attention turns completely inward. The Sufi masters describe the sama, the sacred audition that opens the heart to divine harmony. Hindu and Buddhist yogis map elaborate sequences of internal sounds that mark stages of deepening absorption. Christian mystics write of angelic choirs, heard in the depths of contemplative prayer. These experiences may point to something more profound than mere hallucination or wishful thinking. They suggest that consciousness, when freed from the turbulence of surface mental activity, might naturally resonate with the fundamental frequencies from which all phenomena arise. To hear the music of the spheres, in this understanding, is not to perceive something external, but to recognize our own deepest nature as vibration, resonance, conscious harmony. Hermetic practice takes this insight one step further by working explicitly with the correspondences between microcosm and macrocosm. The adept learns that every thought carries a specific vibrational frequency. Every emotion resonates with particular cosmic harmonies. By consciously choosing which mental and emotional frequencies to cultivate, we might literally tune ourselves to different aspects of universal music. This is understood not as mere metaphor, but as practical magic in its most precise sense. When we align our personal vibration with the deeper cosmic harmonies, practitioners report that reality becomes remarkably responsive to conscious intent. Synchronicities multiply, obstacles dissolve, and we find ourselves supported by the same intelligent forces that guide the dance of planets and the flowering of stars. But here, the inner journey reveals its deepest secret. The music we learn to hear in meditation may not be separate from the music of atoms and galaxies. Consciousness and cosmos might not be two different symphonies playing simultaneously, but one unified composition, heard from the inside rather than the outside. As our journey through the music of the spheres draws toward its close, we arrive at a recognition both humbling and exhilarating. We are not mere observers of cosmic harmony, but active participants in its ongoing creation. Every choice we make, every thought we think, every word we speak adds its note to the eternal symphony. The question is not whether we will make music, but what kind of music we will make. The ancient wisdom traditions understood this responsibility with perfect clarity. To be human is to be consciously musical, to possess the rare gift of awareness that allows us to hear the cosmic song and to choose our contribution to it. Other creatures participate in the universal harmony instinctively, following the innate patterns encoded in their nature. But humans alone can listen to the deeper music and consciously harmonize with it, or so these traditions claimed. This recognition transforms our understanding of ethics from external rule to internal resonance. Right action becomes not conformity to imposed law, but alignment with cosmic harmony. We learn to sense when our thoughts and deeds contribute to universal beauty and when they create discordance. The development of moral sensitivity becomes literally a matter of refining our capacity to hear the difference between harmony and dissonance in the music of existence, or so this ancient framework suggests. Modern science, in its exploration of complex systems and emergent properties, offers remarkable support for this ancient insight. We now understand that individual actions ripple outward through networks of relationship, creating patterns of influence that can extend far beyond their immediate context. The butterfly effect of chaos theory suggests that small changes in initial conditions can lead to dramatically different outcomes across entire systems. If the universe is indeed more like a coherent symphony than a collection of random events, then our individual choices matter in ways we are only beginning to comprehend. Each decision to align ourselves with harmony rather than discord, each moment of choosing love over fear, beauty over ugliness, truth over deception, might contribute to the overall coherence and beauty of the cosmic composition. The Hermetic maxim, "As above, so below," takes on fresh meaning in this context. The patterns we create in our personal lives mirror and influence the larger patterns that govern communities, ecosystems, and ultimately the cosmos itself. By learning to live harmoniously at the microcosmic level of individual consciousness, We participate in the emergence of harmony at every scale of existence. This understanding offers hope in an age when human activity seems increasingly discordant with natural systems. If reality resembles something more musical than mechanical, then healing our relationship with the earth and each other becomes a matter of remembering how to participate consciously in the larger symphony. The environmental crisis, social fragmentation, and spiritual emptiness that characterize our time can all be understood as symptoms of having forgotten our musical nature, having lost our ability to hear and harmonize with the deeper patterns that sustain all life. But the music of the spheres plays on, as it always has, waiting for us to remember how to listen. In the quantum hum of empty space, in the spiral dance of galaxies, in the intricate harmonies of ecological systems, in the mysterious music of consciousness itself, the cosmic symphony continues its eternal performance. To live hermetically is to tune ourselves to this cosmic song and to remember that we are instruments of eternity. Each moment offers us the choice to contribute beauty or discord to the ongoing creation of the universe. In learning to make this choice consciously, with sensitivity to the deeper harmonies that govern all existence, we discover our true role in the cosmic symphony, not as isolated individuals struggling against an indifferent universe, but as conscious notes in an eternal song that is always, already, perfectly complete, yet always eternally still being composed. The music of the spheres is not merely a metaphor for reality. It may be reality itself, heard with the ears of wisdom, played with the instruments of awakened consciousness, and danced with the movements of a life aligned with cosmic harmony. Listen, the symphony is playing now